Hello everybody and welcome back. With today, I know, before you run to the comments, I have titled this video very provocatively in terms of saying this game is such a hidden gem, and the thumbnail saying it's absolutely mind-blowing or amazing, and there's a really good reason for that. If I didn't put all those words in the title, not many people would probably know what Sushi Ben is. That's today's game, and that would be a real shame, because this game feels like it's tailor-made to me, and I know a lot of other people will look at it once they see perhaps this video or other videos about it and decide that they want to get it based off that, and they may not have ever heard of it before, just like I hadn't done until a couple of days ago where the team sent over a key for me to review the game. I came away absolutely charmed and I loved every second of it. It wasn't quite what I expected, but that's a very good thing. Let's talk about Sushi Ben on PSVR2.
This is the best game ever.
But before we do that, if you're a regular around here, you'll know that only 20% of you are subscribed to the channel, and if you do feel like subscribing and you enjoy PSVR2 and VR in general, because that's what we do here, feel free to hit the sub button and unsub in the future if you feel like I'm not worth your time. But we are trying to get to 10k, so any help is appreciated. Anyway, let's get on to the stuff you're actually here for and tell you why you might be interested in this amazing little indie game. To pitch this game at you, you're essentially in a manga, which, if you're not aware, although I'm sure a load of you are, is essentially a Japanese comic. It feels exactly like that as you're taken to a brand new town to start a new life, and you get wrapped up in meeting a vast array of characters as things turn supernatural as you get a talking frog companion as you're settling in, and you've got to try and help out the local sushi restaurant by providing it with food and supplies while avoiding estate sharks that want to buy it. Now, I knew nothing about this game going in, and if at that time you gave me that synopsis, I would be intrigued but not sold. However, it's in Sushi Ben's presentation, funny writing, voice acting, polish, and just overall charm that really drew me in.
That's so sick.
As you progress through the game, you'll go from settling in your apartment and talking to your landlady, to meeting the young trainee at the local sushi restaurant that you end up trying to save, meeting the mustache-twirling villains, and soon finding out what their plan is and how you can stop it. Throughout the entire game, you'll meet each character and you'll get some awesomely rendered 3D panels that take full advantage in VR. That's one of the things that when I heard about this game, I didn't really know if it was going to translate well into VR. How do you do 3D manga panels without making them just look static and boring? Well, this game uses the aspect ratio of these panels to its advantage. Certain characters' legs or arms or different features will poke out, and you can actually kind of tilt your head around and have a little look around these 3D environments, even though they are static panels, and it's really cool.
That's cool, like that photo has depth. That's sick.
It adds a lot of charm to each of the characters that you meet by showing off their defining features and putting an emphasis on their different attributes. The game also gives you dialogue options as you meet each of these characters, and while most of them lead to generally the same thing, it allows you to really embody the nameless and voiceless protagonist that you're playing, as it really is you. The game will take your username and each of the characters will call you by that, so you really feel like you can make your own choices here and kind of roleplay in this little town. The town itself that you're inhabiting is a small Japanese fishing village. It's very scarce for people, but the people that do live there are well written, well voice acted, and the game is fully voice acted, and I really got the feeling of being in kind of like a VR Animal Crossing meets Pokemon situation, especially towards the middle and latter stages when things got a bit more supernatural. The art style is absolutely delightful, and the visuals on display here are so good. This looks like a walkabout mini golf level in terms of visual polish. There's no jagged edging or aliasing. The game runs absolutely flawlessly. There's all the movement options you could want. The experience is absolutely stellar across the board in terms of what you're seeing in your eyes and how you interact with the world.
God, this game looks clear. This is like walkabout mini golf levels of like visual quality. I know it's technically, you know, it's easier to make a game look good when it has an art style like this, but like, they've done it.
The world itself is an open world, but there are loading screens between areas, but you do have a little map that you can take out and have a look at to see where you need to go next, with a handy watch that points you to your next waypoint. And the loading screens aren't very long, and they're also well indicated by traveling through tunnels that go from each location to the next, and all the locations are interlinked in a big circle, so you could travel the entire map in a circle and end up back where you started, which gives it a little cozy town, charming feeling. For most of the game, you're either interacting with characters and making choices, finding new characters and going on little fetch quests, or doing mini games, with the most fun being fishing.
That's actually such a fun little loop.
There's quite a few stages to each minigame depending on which one you're doing, and it ranges from fishing, as I said, which is just an absolute blast as I've never actually done that in VR before, and it's really well polished, to catching bugs to sort out the local rice fields, or going after spirits to try and entrap them when they're causing trouble. The entire experience is really well crafted and relaxing, and it's an indie game that uses what would be its weaknesses to its actual strength. You know the game does have limits, as certain skyboxes and backings to certain areas that you're in do look quite flat, but it adds to the charm of the world, and the art style is so well crafted that you just really don't care about it. It's the little bits of polish around the game as well, like NPCs walking at the same speed as you if you're traveling with them to a certain area.
Oh my god, and she matches like my movement speed. That is so smart. Good.
Any other indie game, or even AAA game for that fact, would have the NPCs walking at a set rate, and you'd have to try and match your stick, basically, on your controller to try and go the same speed as them. But these AI, they match you, which is just very, very appreciated, which means you can take the game at your own pace without feeling rushed or feeling like it's dragging. While I would have maybe opted for a less outlandish story if possible, Sushi Ben has absolute charm and wit to it, and I loved it from the very beginning to the very end. It's a game I didn't really think would work in VR, but I got happily proven wrong. Of course, there are a few little issues for some people, I guess, like certain backdrops looking a little flat, as I said, and maybe too much dialogue. If you're not into sort of JRPG dialogue styles where you get a lot of text kind of thrown at you, you might not like this, but it's all fully voice acted and voice acted well, so I really didn't mind it, as opposed to some other games where I'd be standing there scrolling through text endlessly and just hating it. So yeah, I'd comfortably recommend Sushi Ben to anybody who even looks at this video and likes the art style. If that's enough to draw you in and you think it looks charming, you'll have a great time here. It's both exactly what I expected it to be from the moment that I press play, and also nothing like what I expected it to be from the title and the screenshots that I saw before I played it, but I absolutely love my time with it. Anyway, those are my thoughts about Sushi Ben on PSVR2, a sleeper hit and a hidden gem that not enough people are talking about, even though, granted, it has only been a couple of days. It needs all the attention that it can get because I really, really loved it. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you to our patrons Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, and Hippie Pickle. And thank you to our YouTube member, Jin007, a license to chill. If you want to join the YouTube membership or the Patreon, both of those links are down below as always, along with the Discord, if you want to come and talk to me. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.